Good day, everyone. Welcome to Giddy Fox Gaming. My name is Tails, and you're about to hear all the awesome things coming in Monster Hunter Wilds. If you're interested in hearing about the not-so-great things coming in Wilds, or at least in my opinion what isn't great, there's a link in the description and pinned comment of this video going over all that stuff. So, just to be frank, if you put comments on this video discussing things that are bad about Wilds on a video that I'm literally making to discuss the good things and have a separate video going over all the bad things, everyone in the comments, and myself included, are just going to downvote your comment. Instead, share those comments on the other video. Anyways, let's start with the first reason why Monster Hunter Wilds is going to be worth your time and money. Monster Hunter historically is not known for the story and how they tell it. Mind you, Monster Hunter World's story was okay, but it never really went the distance depth-wise. You hunted monsters and unraveled a mystery that was sorta shallow, but looked cool. But Monster Hunter Wilds is showing a whole new side of storytelling for the Monster Hunter series. The story and how it's presented in Wilds is so captivating, and I'm drawn into the task that you have at hand. I'm actually getting connected to the NPCs traveling with you, and I've laughed out loud at the humor throughout. Fun thing with this game is that the Palicos are like the center of the humor, which I've just loved. I've loved watching my cat Punchy crack a laugh out of me out of funny interactions happening throughout the game. Capcom has also leveled up their cinematography with a variety of camera angles, and characters have different personalities and tropes that feel good, and they're not overbearing. And the lighting, oh my gosh, the lighting, you guys. The lighting in the game is incredible. You just feel the moodiness in each area you go to. It sets the stage so well with what's happening. Each monster you encounter has a cinematic that ties them into the world, and it shows a little bit about what each monster is about. They did this in Monster Hunter World as well, and I'm a big fan of this. It helps me to know the character of the monster, and it connects me to the hunt immediately. I wish I could show you more detailed examples of what I mean here, but I'm restricted on what I'm allowed to show and talk about in these review videos. But for all those who watch the final monster of the story in Wilds, oh man, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about from this section. And I'm talking about the hunt itself, not a cinematic, not just a story part. Capcom has made the hunt with the final monster of the game look like you're playing a movie, and it's incredible. It's so amazing. One thing I was concerned about with Monster Hunter Wilds, which you can hear more about in the other review going over the bad stuff with Wilds, is the performance of the game. I ran the benchmark tool and opening hunt with an NVIDIA 3060 graphics card, which is the average graphics card that PC players are using right now. And it ran okay. It didn't look great, but I was able to play. For this review video, I went and got a pretty big upgrade to my graphics card, an AMD 7900 XT for anyone wondering, and the game now runs like a dream. The graphics are beautiful. I'm running above 60 frames per second on ultra graphics, and the combat is snappy and responsive, which makes hunts feel so good. Every hunt I've done so far, I've had no issues with responsiveness or missed or delayed inputs. My hunter does exactly what I want them to do and when I want it to happen, and that just makes it feel like what you do matters. I've had a few monsters beat me up, but the entire time I felt like it's because I was just playing really bad or getting very greedy at least. I'm putting this in the good part of the review for those who already have a beefy PC or are gonna upgrade regardless. The game runs great when you have a really good PC to play it on. And if you're on console, from what I've seen, it runs great, but I don't have a console, so I can't inform you of my experience there. But I still have some concerns with the performance, and you can find those concerns in the negative review linked to the description and pinned comment of this video. Capcom has let their players know ahead of Wilds launch that the armor skill system in Wilds is going to be similar to World, but have some changes. And through my time in game, I've done quite a bit of gear crafting throughout the storyline, as you do in Monster Hunter. In past game, the armor skills were all tied to the armor your character was equipped with very tiny exceptions for a skill on a weapon. That's all changed in Wilds. The skills, especially ones that are weapon specific, like artillery or rapid morph, etc., are found on the weapons you craft instead of the armor pieces, and I love this change. It makes the armor you decide to craft more flexible for how you want to play, versus feeling like you must craft a certain set of gear because of the skills that are designed for the weapon. And later on, you're able to add skills to your armor and weapons through decorations, just like in World. These decorations are split between weapon-specific decorations and armor-specific decorations. This change alone will make a big difference with how endgame builds will look in Wilds compared to past games. I like this change a lot, and I'm looking forward to see how it will play out fully in the endgame. And just to go into the gear a little bit deeper here, y'all, the designs of the armor and weapons is so good. I started playing Monster Hunter for the very first time on World and Iceborne, and I heard all the complaints that weapons don't look good in that game, and I didn't quite get it because I liked the gear in World a lot. But I now would like to change my mind after seeing the gear in Wild. They all look so good. They're very different from each other, but they still fit stylized with the game. So you can mix and match armor pieces, and it works really well in the looks department. Fashion Hunter is going to be incredible in Monster Hunter Wilds. And the weapons are leagues better looking than they were in World. I now see what I was missing in World, because the Wild's weapons are unique, and they fit the monsters you slayed to build them really well. It's not just the looks either. Capcom's added sounds to the weapons as well based on the monster you beat. It's really awesome to see how the weapons and the armor look in this game compared to World, and things just look so good. Like I said, Fashion Hunter is going to go nuts in this game. As usual, Capcom's crushing it with the hunting part of the game. The monsters look really good, and they feel believable. Well, except maybe for this guy. I love when a game walks the line between fantasy and reality, and Monster Hunter Wilds is doing it perfectly. The monsters feel like they could exist, and what they do to you could actually happen. And your hunter's pulling off movesets that are incredible, but not so far-fetched and over the top that it doesn't feel like it's possible. I've always been a fan of this feeling in my almost 2,000 hours in Monster Hunter World, and it was something that I was really hoping would carry over to Wilds, and it definitely has. The big gimmick for combat in Wilds is Focus Mode. Focus Mode lets you put a reticle on screen and allows you to aim your attacks, even mid-attack, so you land more hits more often. And at first, it feels a little unnatural because Monster Hunter has never had this before outside of ranged weapons. And even then, ranged weapons, once you click the fire button, are locked into the direction they fired. But now in Wilds, we have a way to turn your character around mid-attack and land those big, slow hits a lot easier. I played the Charge Blade all the way through the story of Wilds, and it felt so good to land the super amplified element of discharge more often than ever because I could turn myself around mid-animation to hit the monster that just jumped over me while I was lining things up. Honestly, a few hours into Wilds, I just leave Focus Mode on for the whole hunt. It helps so much, and it feels really good. I don't know how I'm going to be able to hunt in older Monster Hunter games without this anymore. It feels like something that should have been a part of the series before now, but I'm glad it's here regardless. For new players into the series, Wilds is going to be a great place to start. Capcom has made understanding the different systems in Monster Hunter easier to get into and understand. For example, the Smithy will offer you gear recommendations and remind you of armor spheres and upgrades before hunts. There's a ton of tutorial pop-ups that show you how different mechanics work. And for the experienced monster hunters out there, don't worry, you can turn off all the tutorials and the options if you want. There's a spot at the top of your screen showing all of your moves as you perform attacks, so you can learn the combos and see attacks you might have missed. There's also a training area to practice your moves on without being against a full-fledged monster. And there's some systems that were completely removed from previous titles that are making the game easier to get into. The canteen, for example, I have yet to see it. If it's there much later in the game, I haven't gotten to it yet. But you still have cooking and bonuses for cooking, but it's so much simpler and quicker to get into than the canteen was. Oh, and a quick note on the food changes that I love. The buffs from food that you eat are on a timer. No more cooking between every quest or even every cart to get food buffs. They just stay on you for a certain amount of time before you need to eat again. And the game reminds you when their buffs run out, so you can eat mid-quest if you want. It's pretty great. All in all, if you're watching and wondering if you should get into Monster Hunter, Wilds is a great place to start. The game does a great job of getting new players into the hunt and showing players how to use the different systems of crafting, food, mantles and slinger use, and more without just dumping them into the deep end. By the way, if you're looking to pick up Monster Hunter Wilds because of this review, consider grabbing it from my Nexus shop. You could buy the game there for the same price as it is on Steam, and you'll get a Steam key to load the game into your Steam account, and I get a small commission for every purchase made there at no extra cost to you. It's a great way to support me as a content creator, or as a way to say thank you for this review. Check out nexus.gg/GiddyFox to get your game, and thanks in advance for considering it. Capcom once again knocked it out of the park with the music in Wilds. Every piece I've heard is so good, and it sets the mood really well. World had a lot of fanfare and brass in its soundtrack, and was quite loud pretty much all the time. And it was great, and I loved it, and I still do. But I was shocked to hear how different the Wild soundtrack is, and how good it is despite how different it is. And this is not to say that there isn't loud and epic tracks in the game, because there is. The moments where the excitement ramps up or the anticipation's just killing me, there's music to accompany all of it, and it sounds really awesome. I really need an original soundtrack ASAP, because I'd like to have this music playing in my headphones all day while I'm working. I've said in the past that Capcom can't fail when it comes to music in their games, and Wilds is in the same boat. They've really knocked it out of the park on their track. So, should you get Monster Hunter Wilds? Well, that's up to you. I don't want to influence you. You need to make decisions for yourself. I'm biased towards Monster Hunter because I've played it a ton. I've been hyped about Wild since it was announced, and for me, the game has lived up to the hype. I still have more to do in the game, like a lot more to do. But for the 15 or 20 hours I've been able to play so far, I've enjoyed every minute, and the hours flew by playing it. I'm excited to see what more will be in the game, as Monster Hunter classically has hundreds of hours of stuff to do in it. But it's not all sunshine and roses. Be sure to check out my review of the bad parts of Wilds to get a fuller picture of Wilds as a whole. And however you decide to go on Wilds, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a live stream or in the comments section sometime soon.